In this lesson, we'll learn how to complete an AIA requisition for payment. You'll use the electrical work status sheet to fill out both the schedule of values and the application for payment cover sheet. By the end, you'll understand how each column connects, how progress is tracked, and how retainage is applied. Before you begin, go to Brightspace and open the two documents you'll need for this assignment. The first is the electrical requisition example, which includes the AIA continuation sheet you'll be filling out. The second is the electrical work status document, which lists the electrical work completed this month. You'll use those two files together to complete your requisition. This document shows the work completed by the electrical subcontractor this month. It lists both labor and material progress for every part of the electrical scope: temporary power, lighting, fire alarm, telecom, security, and more. You'll use these numbers to fill out the continuation sheet, also called the schedule of values. Column E in this sheet shows the dollar value of work completed this period, such as labor installed on site. Column F shows the materials stored on site, but not yet installed, like panel boards, the emergency generator, and fire alarm equipment. Together, these two columns represent all the new value earned this month that will be added to the cumulative totals on the AIA form. Each month, field teams report what work was completed and what materials were delivered or stored on site. This electrical work status sheet lists labor and material progress for each system: power, lighting, fire alarm, telecom, and security. These values will feed into the columns of the schedule of values. Here's what it looks like when we start entering data into the continuation sheet. Notice that the line for temporary electric is highlighted. This represents work completed this month based on the electrical work status sheet. In column E, work completed this period, we've entered $10,000 to reflect the value of labor and materials installed since the last pay application. The total now shows $30,000 completed to date, or 43% of this line item's scheduled value. Every number you enter in this column should connect directly to the field progress reported on the electrical work status document. Take your time here. Accuracy is key. If you enter a value in this column, it means the work has physically been completed and verified on site. Now we're moving to column F, which records materials stored on site but not yet installed. You can see the line for panel boards, material highlighted in green. This represents $160,000 of panel boards that have been delivered to the site and stored safely, but have not been installed. When those materials are later installed, the stored value will move from this column into work completed this period. This step ensures you're capturing all project value, both what's installed and what's stored, without double counting. Now you'll notice that column G automatically updates. Column G is the sum of previous applications plus columns E and F. This gives you the total value of all work completed and materials stored to date. Next to it, column H shows the percentage complete. That's calculated by dividing the total in column G by the scheduled value for that line item. Together, these two columns show cumulative project progress, what's been billed so far, and how close each scope item is to being finished. Finally, take a look at column 1. This column shows two important pieces of information: the balance to finish and retainage. To find the balance to finish, subtract the total completed in column G from the scheduled value in column C. This tells you how much work and cost remain on that line item. Next, calculate retainage. Unless your contract specifies a different rate, apply 10% to the value of work completed this period. Retainage is money temporarily held back by the owner to ensure the contractor fully completes the project. When these columns are filled in, your continuation sheet is ready to roll up to the application for payment cover sheet. Now, we'll learn how to take information from the schedule of values, that's the AIA G703 continuation sheet, and transfer it correctly onto the application for payment cover sheet, also called the G702. Before we start filling anything out, take a look at the color coding on both forms. Each color connects one part of the schedule of values to the matching section on the cover sheet. Think of the G703 as the detailed backup. It shows every trade and line item of work. The G702 is simply the summary page. It gathers the totals from the continuation sheet and presents them for review and approval. Once you understand which totals go where, the process becomes straightforward and consistent from month to month. Now let's walk through how to transfer each total from the schedule of values to the application for payment cover sheet step by step. Each color you see here matches the same color on the continuation sheet. The process is simple. Find the total at the bottom of each colored column on the G703 and enter it into the matching section on the G702. Once all the colors are filled in, your cover sheet will summarize the entire requisition, showing the total contract value, any change orders, work completed to date, retainage, and the current payment due for this period. Let's start with the green section, the original contract sum. This value comes directly from the bottom total of column C on the schedule of values. That total represents the entire contract value before any change orders have been approved. Find the total at the bottom of column C on your continuation sheet and record that same amount in the green line labeled Original Contract Sum on the cover sheet. This establishes the baseline contract value for your pay application. Now take the total from the bottom of column C on your schedule of values and place it here in the green cell labeled Original Contract Sum on the cover sheet. This number represents the total value of the contract before any approved change orders. Entering it here establishes your project's baseline, the starting point for all future pay applications. Next is the pink section, which corresponds to any approved change orders. Go to column D on your schedule of values and add together all additions and deductions listed there. Enter the net total in the pink line labeled Net Change by Change Orders on the cover sheet. If there are no approved change orders for this period, simply leave this section blank. This line adjusts your original contract value whenever the scope or cost of work officially changes. Now, enter your net change by change orders here in the pink cell on the AIA G702 cover sheet. This value comes directly from column D on the continuation sheet, the total of all approved additions or deductions to the contract. If there are no change orders this period, leave this section blank. When that happens, your original contract sum plus net change by change orders will remain the same, meaning your contract sum to date does not change. Next, look at the yellow section. This shows the total value of work completed and materials stored to date. Go to the bottom total of column G on your schedule of values. That's where this number comes from. Bring that total to the yellow line on the cover sheet labeled Total Completed and Stored to Date. This figure represents the cumulative progress on your project so far, everything installed and stored on site through this pay period. So the total completed and stored to date is entered in the yellow cell on the AIA cover sheet. This number comes from the bottom of column G on your schedule of values and represents all work completed and materials stored through this period. The blue section represents retainage, the amount withheld by the owner until final completion. Take the total from column 1 on the continuation sheet and enter it in the blue line labeled retainage on the cover sheet. Carry the retainage total amount from the continuation sheet and fill it in the blue cell of the cover sheet. The purple cell labeled Less Previous Applications is used to record the amount that's already been paid from earlier pay applications. If this is application number 1, leave this section blank. In future months, this is where you'll subtract the total of all prior certified payments to calculate the current amount due. On the cover sheet, the Less Previous Applications amount is entered in the purple cell. This number represents payments that were certified and paid on earlier requisitions. If this is your first application, leave this cell blank. Starting on the next billing cycle, this section will show the total of all prior approved payments. And finally, carry over your balance to finish to the beige cell on the cover sheet. This value is the contract sum minus the total completed and stored to date. It shows how much work remains to be billed for the project. Once this section is filled out, your AIA application for payment is complete and ready for review.